The Belarus-Lithuania border was a frozen hell, its gnarled pines cloaked in heavy snow, the air thick with a metallic bite of frost that seared the lungs like shards of glass. A merciless -25°C wind howled, clawing through the threadbare coats of Amir from Syria, Reza from Iran, and Sami from Iraq as they stumbled through drifts, their emaciated bodies trembling, frost-bitten fingers numb, and stomachs hollowed by days without food. Amir, 32, a gaunt schoolteacher from Aleppo with matted curls and haunted eyes, led with a faltering resolve, his sister Layla's tattered photo, a plea from a Jordanian camp, pressed against his chest, its inky scent soured by damp rot. Reza, 20, a wiry art student from Tehran with a poet's soul, clutched a silver pendant etched with a Quranic verse, its icy bite a lifeline to his mother, Fariba, her rosewater laughter drowned by the forest's loamy musk. His sunken cheeks ached with hunger. Sami, a lean mechanic from Baghdad, trailed behind, his scarred scalp prickling in the cold, calloused hands twitching, the acrid taste of burnt rubble lingering from his brother Omar's death in a car bomb. "We're close," Amir rasped, voice hoarse, lips cracked and bleeding, the sharp tang of blood mixing with hunger's bitter ash. Once, he taught poetry to hopeful students, now, guilt for abandoning Layla drove him to shield Reza and Sami, his surrogate family. His stomach gnawed, a hollow pain sparking visions of bread, saliva pooling uselessly. The bark of patrol dogs, sharp and menacing, echoed with the wind's wail, chilling his frost-numbed limbs. He whispered a dua, its cadence soft but desperate, seeking Allah's mercy amid the cold and lurking guards. Reza shivered uncontrollably, his lanky frame skeletal, breath chattering in icy crystals, eyes red with cold and starvation. "You've said that for days, Amir," he murmured, fumbling the pendant's frozen edges, its metal searing his frostbitten fingers. Fariba had sold her jewelry for his escape, her sacrifice a knife in his starving gut. "I see her sketching my face, praying in Tehran. I can't die here." His voice broke, dizziness blurring his vision, the siren's wail piercing the icy air. He leaned toward Amir, craving warmth, his artist's hands trembling. Sami kicked the snow, its crunch lost to a dog's growl, his jaw tight, the frigid air stinging his frostbitten face. "No asylum, just trees and guards to bash our skulls." His words were bitter, hunger's ache twisting his stomach, the stale taste of fear coating his mouth. Omar's death hardened him, but loyalty to Amir and Reza flickered beneath his defiance. His eyes darted as a siren wailed, his numb fingers throbbing. "They'll find us frozen if we don't move." Amir clasped Reza's shoulder, the damp, coarse fabric scraping his frost-numbed palm, the cold seeping into his bones. "We'll make it, Reza. For Fariba, Layla, Omar." His voice softened, seeing his students in Reza's wide eyes, his smile cracking, lips stinging. Layla's laughter in Aleppo was choked by the forest's damp, earthy scent and guards' imagined shouts. "Let's find shelter," he said, heart pounding as dogs barked nearer, their musky threat heavy in the freezing air. They stumbled into a clearing, and there she stood, a wooden statue carved from ancient oak, its grain slick with frost and moss, arms cradling wheat, face serene yet stern. A plaque read for Žemyna, the name heavy with power. The air thickened, reeking of wet soil and pine sap, the silence broken by creaking branches, a siren's wail, and the wind's icy howl. The statue's eyes glinted like ice, piercing them, the cold biting their skeletal frames. Reza stepped back, the pendant's frozen bite grounding him, breath icing over. "This place smells alive," he whispered, the loamy scent clogging his throat, hunger sharpening his senses. "It's watching us, like the guards." He murmured a dua, its words soft but tasting of dust, eyes wide as a dog's bark cut through the air. "Amir, we shouldn't stay." Amir felt a pulse beneath his boots, the earth's frozen dampness seeping through, chilling his blood. He'd prayed in Aleppo's mosques, but starvation and border patrols, batons gleaming, dogs snarling, clouded his faith. "It's just wood," he said, lips trembling, the words bitter like unripe olives, the statue's gaze stirring guilt. "We must move." Sami scoffed, breath sharp with panic, numb fingers twitching. "Pagan nonsense. They carve idols while we starve." His boots scuffed the icy ground, stirring a fungal whiff, eyes darting as a siren wailed. Scared of a statue, or the dogs? His defiance masked hunger's delirium, Omar's memory urging him to act. The cold was a vice, hunger a ravenous beast, the metallic taste of blood constant on cracked lips. Riza's stomach growled, and he laughed weakly, the sound lost in the wind and a bark. Fariba's koresh, with saffron and lamb. I taste its warmth, he said, tears freezing, their icy prickle sharp, saliva pooling at the memory. He leaned into Amir, who squeezed his arm, the contact warm in the sub-zero chill, seeing Layla in Riza's fragility. When we find a village, I'll get you food, inshallah, Amir promised, throat tight, the forest's musty dampness heavy, the acrid whiff of tear gas haunting him. Hunger twisted his vision, Layla's face flickering in the snow. Sami paced, boots crunching frozen snow, the sound drowned by a dog's growl. We need a fire. That statue, it's dry wood. His voice was desperate, hunger's pain searing, sweat's acrid smell mingling with the earth's decay. Burn it, or we starve and freeze. Riza's face paled, the pendant's icy edges cutting his palm. No, Sami. It's sacred. It's haram. He grabbed Amir's sleeve, the fabric frozen, voice breaking as a siren wailed. Amir, Allah will judge us, and the guards will catch us. Amir's chest tightened, the statue's sap-sticky gaze heavy, its oak and moss scent stirring guilt that tasted like ash, lips stinging in the cold. Hunger gnawed, visions of flesh flickering, guard shouts and dogs' barks urging survival. We've no choice, he said, shame sour like stale bread, breath icing over. We need warmth to our trundum. Riza shook his head, tears freezing. This will curse us, he whispered, murmuring a dua, its cadence heavy with regret. He stepped back as Sami smashed a rock against Žemyna's base. The wood splintered, a whale-like crack splitting the air, the sharp tang of oak sap bursting forth. Riza flinched, clutching his pendant as Sami tore at the statue's arms, wheat snapping. Amir hesitated, guilt choking him, but helped pile the fragments, their rough grain scraping his frostbitten hands. He whispered, Astaghfirullah, the plea bitter as the forest's musk filled his lungs. The fire roared, its smoky tang acrid with sap, warmth a cruel balm against frost-numbed skin, the sub-zero air biting their faces. The forest fell silent, the air heavy with a rotting, fertile odor, broken by barks and shouts. Riza stared into the flames, their glow flickering in his eyes. She's angry, he whispered, smoke stinging his throat, tasting of charred wood. The earth knows our sin, and the guards are coming. He trembled, hunger sharpening his fear. Sami's defiance faltered, hands scratching his arms, skin raw, smelling of blood and dirt. It's just wood, he muttered, coughing on the fumes, eyes darting as a dog's bark echoed. Hunger twisted his thoughts, Riza's frail arm looking like meat. In the barn, its timbers reeking of mold, the wind's howl and dogs' barks pierced the walls. Hunger pushed them to madness. Sami, eyes wild, whispered, we're dying. There's a meat. His gaze fell on a dead migrant, frozen in the snow outside, skin grey. Riza recoiled, clutching his pendant. No, Sami. It's haram, a sin. His voice broke, hunger's pain clashing with faith. Amir, torn, saw Layla's face in the corpse, guilt sour in his mouth. We can't, he said, but hunger's delirium gripped them. Sami carved the corpse's arm, the metallic tang of blood mixing with the fire's smoke, the flesh raw scent sickening. Riza sobbed, refusing, but Amir, shaking, took a bite, its gristly taste vile, guilt choking him. Astaghfirullah, he gasped, vomiting, the act a betrayal of Layla's hope. Sleep brought nightmares. Amir dreamed of Aleppo, cordite choking him as Layla sank into frozen soil, roots icy, screaming, you ate to live. Guards chased, batons clanging, dogs snapping, their musky stench thick, dirt's gritty taste waking him. He clutched Layla's photo, crumbling, inky scent sour. Riza's nightmares were of Tehran, tear gas burning, Fariba dissolving into icy mud, her sketches eaten by dogs, her cries drowned by Žemyna's hum, frozen soil suffocating. He woke sobbing, his pendant tarnished, due a tasting of loss. Sami dreamed of Baghdad, Omar's body torn, blood's coppery stench thick as the frozen ground opened, guards and dogs chasing, snarls deafening. He woke, clawing his arms, muttering, "She's in the earth," dirt's taste lingering. Morning brought no solace, the barn's musty air was heavy, cold, biting, and dog barks chilling. Riza's face was skeletal, lips bleeding. The ground pulsed, he said, the loamy scent choking him. "She's punishing us, and the guards are near." He collapsed into Amir's arms, the frozen jacket rough, sobbing, "I failed Fariba." Amir held him, tears freezing, the earth's weight crushing him as a siren wailed. "You haven't failed her, inshallah," he said, hollow, Layla's memory a wound. Sami's skin showed dark veins, smelling of soil and blood, the cold intensified the pain. "The goddess," he whispered, eyes wild, fear's sour stench on his breath. "She's inside me, for the statue, the flesh." He grabbed Amir, nails drawing blood, dirt caked in his nails. Amir pulled away, fear clawing as a dog's bark echoed, the cold numbing his fingers. "We're knackered," he lied, tasting sap and guilt. The forest twisted, paths looping to the clearing, Žemyna's ashes charred, soils reek thick. Riza dug, frozen grit drawing blood, loamy taste on his lips. "Fariba's down there," he cried, the earth's pulse thudding. Amir pulled him up, hands slick with blood and dirt, desperate in the cold. "We're family," he said, voice breaking, a guard shout echoing. But Riza's eyes were distant, drained by the earth and cold. Sami vanished that night, the barn's air heavy, the wind's howl deafening. Amir and Riza searched, boots crunching snow, dog barks, and sirens chilling. They found Sami in the clearing, hands buried in frozen soil, roots wrapping his wrists, their icy touch reeking of rot. "She claims me," he whispered, voice hollow. Amir yanked him free, roots bleeding, their coppery tang sharp. Sami screamed, skin cracking, dirt spilling, gritty texture mixing with blood as the earth swallowed him. His cry, "Omar, forgive me," cut Amir's heart, guard shouts echoing. Riza was next. By dawn, he refused food, his body frail, pendants chill his anchor. "Fariba's calling," he murmured, face pressed to frozen ground, loamy taste bitter. "Žemyna has her." His skin grew sallow, fingers clawing soil, frozen grit staining. Amir tried to lift him, but Riza sank, the earth pulling like quicksand, its icy embrace unyielding. "I'm sorry," he gasped, eyes locked on Amir's, grief raw, soil scent thick. "Tell her I drew her face in my heart." He was gone, leaving his pendant, half buried, a son's failure etched in the frozen earth. Amir sobbed, dogs' barks ringing. Amir ran, guilt crushing him, the forest's musk suffocating, sub-zero cold biting his frost-bitten skin. He'd failed Riza, Sami, Layla, their asylum dreams crushed by guards, cold, starvation, and Žemyna's wrath. Nightmares pursued, guards with batons, clangs echoing, dogs tearing, their musky stench thick, Layla screaming from frozen soil, gritty taste choking him. Roots tripped him, icy bark scraping, branches snagged, pricking his skin, smelling of sap and decay. A hum rose, Žemyna's voice whispering, "You wounded my body. Now you return." Her face loomed, eyes weeping sap, its sticky sweetness cloying. Amir's legs grew heavy, blood thick like mud, tasting metallic. He collapsed, the ground warm despite the cold, its earthy scent enveloping him. Roots curled around his legs, their icy touch pulling him down. He clutched Layla's photo, now dust, and sobbed, "Astaghfirullah," the plea raw, earth's taste filling his mouth. The roots paused, the hum softening to a sigh. Žemyna's face emerged, eyes glistening with sap, heavy with sorrow. "You grieve as I grieve," her voice whispered, a breeze carrying wheat and earth, chilling his frost-bitten skin. "Your heart bears their loss. Live, and carry it." The roots retreated, the ground releasing him, its warmth fading to a bone-deep chill. Amir stumbled to his feet, trembling, the forest silence pierced by dog barks and sirens, the icy air stinging. A sapling sprouted amidst the ashes, its leaves whispering, holding Riza and Sami's memory, lost to the frozen earth. Amir staggered on, the weight of survival a heavier curse than death. The freezing wind howled, the forest's loamy scent clinging, a reminder of Žemyna's mercy and his failure. Layla's photo was gone, his family shattered, the taste of guilt and flesh bitter, the fear of guards and dogs ever present in the sub-zero cold. He was alive, but the Earth's sorrow and the border's terror would haunt him forever.